Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing today? Ready for a Monday? Did you fall back, spring forward? Y'all don't be late to work now. Hopefully you've adjusted your clocks accordingly and are ready for the day. So, per usual, let's go ahead and get into what to look out for as we start this Monday, March the 11th off. So, as far as the reporting is concerned, as far as the economic calendar report for this week, starting with today, nothing scheduled. So, really not looking for too much volatility uh, in the 10 year unless something else is going on uh, prior to the start, depending on where you are. Currently, we're just tad bit above 4% there again. Anytime we're below 4%, typically bodes well for interest rates. So, over the last week, again, if you've been watching, or this past week, it's kind of like a float scenario as far as interest rates are concerned. If you're within that 30-day strike period, unless you got a Vegas spirit, I would go ahead and lock in. That's what I would do. Man, I'm so dark. Hold 1 second, fam. I apologize. Okay, that's better. That's better. Just got to catch. There we go. So I would go ahead and lock in, so that you don't get caught, in a bad environment, as far as your interest rates are concerned, right? So Tuesday, looking at, I like the CPI core year over year. Things are bustle tomorrow as far as that's concerned. Curious to see the numbers. Again, this is Market Watch. This is kind of a resource, give you a 10,000-foot view. You can see what the previous read was, the forecast, and then the actual numbers when they come in. Um, so Wednesday, light. Thursday, core. PPI year over year core. Initial jobless claims. You guys gotta chill on the jobless claims or the unemployment data. Uh, it's crazy when they come back and do the revisions. So the job outlook is a lot worse, in my opinion, than they report. But it is what it is. I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole, but watch how sensitive certain numbers are as it pertains to this 10 year. And again, we track this 10 year because this gives us a good direction as to which way mortgage rate should be going, right? Not necessarily lockstep. So, um, Friday, excuse me, uh, I like this consumer sentiment as well, right? Have you gone from uh, shopping at Macy's to shopping at Target? You know what I'm saying? Are you, are you now more cautious or fearful of what it is that you're buying or not buying as far as the shopping cart is concerned? So, like the consumer sentiment, just to kind of get an idea of the mindset, psyche of folks, because that's important, right? So again, 10 year is where it is, right? Um, when we look at mortgage rates, I want to give you guys a couple of sources that don't inundate advertisements and misleading information, in that if you're not in the industry or understand what you're looking at, a lot of times these numbers are fugazi. They scandalous, right? You got to know what you're looking at. But Freddie Mac, one of the GSEs, uh, gives you a rate. You have to understand it's trailing. So this is last week, a couple of days behind. But the gist is you get an idea of which way rates are going. That's what you want to do. So uh, the top line here is the 30 year, 15 year is the green. And so it's good to track again the trend. So the height here most recently, October 26, 2023. And we've been in a downward trend, since then. since then. So again, demand is there. Another place, Optimal Blue. This is another place to get an idea of rates. And again, remember this is from a national average standpoint. Um, these upper end of the rates in the 7% range. Um, as you can see, that's showing for jumbo type loans and things of that nature. Your govies are going to be a little lower, probably even a little lower than this. It just depends on your situation. So uh, take these numbers with a grain of salt. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, as we move forward, another thing that I want to hit to kind of quell your fears, and it goes back to the jobs that I was mentioning earlier, because you might hear some of this stuff on whatever social media you guys look at and become fearful. But consider this. So let's highlight it here. Let's do a little reading. Okay. Got to do a little reading. And well, it's not going to go, but it says the U.S. Department of Labor announces final rule on classifying workers as either employees or independent contractors under the Fair Labor Standards Act. So this is a .gov newsroom release, right? White House. Okay. Morning, brother. How you doing? Good morning. Let's shout out Dr. Financial Literacy. Good morning from the world's fifth largest economy. Yes, indeed. Out there in Cali, right? and you have to be playing for the Lakers to live out there, man. So good to see you, Dr. Financial Literacy. Thanks for stopping by, man. We'll leave that up on the screen. But anywho, um, you know what? Real quick, you got me off. What's Texas ranking as far as economy is concerned in the world? Since you're calling from the fifth, what's Texas? I'm curious. If you don't mind putting that in there for me, Doctor Literacy. But this ruling, okay, is going to have and is having a major effect on employment and or layoffs. So that's important because the narrative out here is that the sky is falling. And that's where most media outlets and media programming and YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagrammers and Facebookers want you to be, because that's the emotional zone. Okay. And once they captivate your attention and get that attention, that correlates to dollars for them. If you want to get in that game, that's what you have to do. Salacious. If it bleeds, it leads. The sky is falling. Now, with that, our job is to put a lid on everything. What is that acronym? LID. Listen, right? Listen, investigate, study to show thyself approved, do some research, do some reading, more than just headlines, and then we make a decision. And in the times that we're in now, especially with the younger demographic that we have, very important, okay? Because you have algorithms now, and you're just being shown whatever your cognitive biases are. Whatever you have a bias towards, the algorithm, your algorithm is going to show you that more and more. So you got to break that cycle and challenge yourself to look at a couple of other things. You don't have to go down a crazy rabbit hole, but you know, it's just like a pendulum. See what this side is saying. See what this side is saying. Find out where you are. And the goal is try to get as close to the middle as possible, because typically that's where the truth resides. I digress. This final rule that's going into place is basically stating that a lot of contractors, 1099 employees, really are employees, and won't go into why I believe that this is going into effect. But when you look at some of the layoffs, right, in the tech sector and things of that nature, right, we'll just use Rocket Mortgage since we're talking about mortgages. They recently are closing down their origination, the retail portion of their company, and they're going to focus more are all on just brokers, third party origination. Well, the loophole that they had here, nothing that they did wrong to break the law, but they had a lot of insurance agents, realtors, okay, that they sponsored a license, an NMLS license number. Now, a lot of people don't realize that there's levels, right? I put in the consumer access for the National Mortgage Licensing System. That's where you can go and do your due diligence to find out if your lender, your loan officer of choice, where they been, meaning did they just get into the game in 2020 when the money was flowing, when all the stimulus was falling out of the sky, and now they selling insurance and uh, selling you on being the bank, or did they come from credit repair or whatever? That matters. Okay, your history matters because now they're trying to help you get into the largest debt that most people will get into in their lifetime, and so you want to make sure that they have an understanding of what that is. Back to the 1099, this labor rule that's going into effect. So you got to watch these companies. And when you see, hey, certain things are closing down, is it closing down all because of the economy? Or have they and their boards and folks that watch these things, because they run great companies, they say, hey, you know what? We see some headwinds coming. These folks really are employees. And the rule has changed. A lot we can learn. A lot we can learn. Uh, you play within the guidelines and you play the game. When the guidelines change, you play the game. So I said all that to say a lot of these layoffs that we're seeing in the tech sector and a lot of these other places, a lot of these folks were 1099 employees. And now if the labor department is now saying, hey, we're going to implement this test, we've changed the rules, and just from what I've read, I'll let you guys go read it for yourself because that's another thing. I want to foster an environment of us going back to read and doing real life stuff like this. This is a real person virtual, okay? It's not AI, okay? It's really raw. So you want to go and read and then juxtapose to all the information that you hear. And then you take all of that and you distill it down to your local market where you live and reside. First and foremost, in my opinion, your household, right? City, county, state, micro. Folks are living in the macro, and that'll just keep you in a state of you never were going to do anything anyway. And these things speak to your cognitive bias anyway. We got to get out of that if we want to move the needle. So, just my input on that, something to think about. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know. Love to learn. Love to learn. But I suspect that a lot of these layoffs that we're starting to see, especially in the tech sector or in the gig economy, is because these businesses say, hey, man, employees are expensive and the guidelines have changed. You guys have a great day, man. Let's change the mindset. We have an opportunity wherever you are. If you're in business, be the best business person that you could be. I had a pity party myself yesterday. I was talking to my beautiful wife, and she said, "Baby, well, what's wrong?" I said, "Well, I'm human too." And so uh, I don't I don't walk alone though, okay? Because just today, the Lord brought some things to my attention to let me understand how blessed I really am. And when I look back at the pity party I was having yesterday, guess what? I got control over all those things. And that's really the spice of life. If you have an option, a choice. So today you guys choose, man, to be the best version that you could be. Be the best business person for your employees, right? And hey Doc, let me know, man. Put it in the cause I'm about to get off so we can get started. But check for Texas for me. Put it in the description after the show so folks can know. But I think we bigger than 5, baby. That's why I put it on there. I threw it out there for you. So nothing wrong with a little friendly competition. So appreciate you, Doc. You have a great day. I know you on your square, and you guys do as well. Probably be on here in a little bit after the market opens, talk about some products and things of that nature. But if we could be of assistance, you guys reach out. You know how to get in contact with us, and have a great day. Peace.